Hello everyone, I'm Ricky, and today we have very beautiful Duchess Letitia.
Hiya.
So, Duchess, I want to talk, before we go forward, I want to talk about this name, Duchess Letitia. It looks very exclusive to me. It looks, sounds so fascinating and interesting. I just want to talk about your name first before we move forward to the episode.
Well, it was kind of one of these things where I wanted to be within my higher consciousness.
Yeah.
So within that, it was like, okay, I need to do what I can physically. And physically, it was like, okay, I'm going to change my title because it was like, a lot more effort to try to get doctor. I did change one to that. I got a certificate that does say that. Yeah. But, so, Megan was also a part inspiration too.
Yes.
And I was like, you can't actually register your name as Queen unless that would be as an alias name such. So, Duchess was the second highest one.
So, what other names you got?
I got Letitia Antoinette.
Yeah.
That's with it's a branding name, but also that's my first two names.
Yes.
And also Madame Kapowska.
Madame Kapowska, I can't say that, but that looks, that sounds so exclusive, So, Letitia, she's entrepreneur, artist, production, any talent, full of talent, Let's talk about what you actually are. You are a producer, you got all this talent that go into you, and there's some phases where, Letitia, you've been struggling mentally. And we're going to talk about that today. And first of all, I really like to thank Letitia to come in to show. Only reason is take courage. It's take courage for people who struggle with mental health to come out and talk about it. So I really appreciate you coming out there. I'll just tell us something about us, about yourself. How did you get on the journey? How did everything start? And then how do you get from that stage where you feel like everything is over, to become a different version of yourself, Tell us something about yourself, like how do you start, like what happened?
Well, I would say, in a sense, I'm a serial entrepreneur with the multitude of different things that I do. It started more so within the journey of songwriting and as an artist. So I'd be singing, songwriting, performing, some music directing and performance coaching.
Wow.
And I also had was running my own record label. And generally I found that music tends to be a medicine in a sense, because it's the words and feelings and emotions and stuff that you feel, and instead of being able to just talk to somebody about it, it's either, okay, I'll record, I'll let out how I'm feeling. And then sometimes, at times, it has been that I've had the odd fans that have come out and said to me, I was like, that song saved my soul. And I was just like, wow. I was like, well, it saved me too. Because it lifted me out of it.
So what's that one song that's your go-to song? Every time you feel like, it's happened to all of us, guys. If you're listening to this, it's happened to all of us. That the one phase will come where we all feel like we are right in a depth, and somebody will pull us up. It might be a song, person, situation. So let's talk about that one song that always pull you up. Yeah, this is me. I'm out of it this now.
Well, I found that in a sense, some of my songs are literally me talking back at myself as well. And I would say Little Star.
Damn.
That's one of my songs that I wrote for my children. I wrote that because it was just like, what if I wasn't there? How can I reach out to them? So that was a song of me watching over them and stuff, if I had ever passed, sort of thing, watching them through the different stages in their life. So I think that song is a reminder that it's just like, you've got them, So they are my little stars, and I've got to be a little star too.
Yeah, 100%, So in life, that's my own experience. There are some motivators in your life that pull you through.
Yeah.
My motivator is my mom. She pulls me up like so bad. Like, I want to do big things in my life, like for families, big things. Having a children that help you to go out of that phase. They are your motivator. You know, I know you're getting a bit emotional now. It's good to get the emotions out, you know. Sometimes it's good to get your emotion out, but then this is also looking backward, the way you was before and now where you at now. Mm-hmm. You know, you are a completely different person. You look adorable today, you know. Yeah, so I just, you told me you also a book writer as well. So tell us something about that book you wrote about.
So I wrote, my first book is called My Mind's Eye and See You Soon, Angel. So it's like two sorts of messages in there. My Mind's Eye is literally the way the book has been captured in how I've expressed myself is literally how my mind's been scattered in the past and how I'd be taking in different information from one extreme to this feeling to that feeling. So that I also have dyslexia and my other mental health stuff. So usually whenever you'd go and get a book, you're always going to see it's perfect, it's so professional, you can't see nothing wrong sort of thing. It's an easy read. So I was like, no. I said, I want to capture the truthness of me. That's like, I don't come out as clear as at times that is comprehensible for everybody. Yes. But then those that understand, they understand. It's like, I know what she's saying. So I was like, I'm not going to change it. So finding out that process was exciting, but I'm also working on a second one.
You also said you have a clothing line as well, you know. Tell us about that. All this talent in one girl. All this talent in one girl. So this is true encouraging, true motivator here for everybody out there who's struggling with mental health, struggle with all this, you know, phases and situation where they feel like they have no one right there. Letitia is one of the example right there. So guys, do hear her very well. So tell us about your clothing line. So
clothing line is Letitia Antoinette. So it was literally one day I was just thinking to myself, I was like, oh, these big brands. I was like, they're so expensive. I was like, I can't afford this one or this one. I ain't saying all the different names and stuff like this, but you know the names of the brands, yeah? So I thought to myself, I was like, let me start my story. I was like, what does my name mean? So Letitia Antoinette means to bring joy beyond praise. So I thought, yes. So if I can learn to bring joy beyond praise in my own life, maybe those that get connected with my clothing, other parts, just with me, with my name that's connected to that, maybe they might also learn to be able to bring joy beyond praise in their own lives. And it's not about, oh, it's the price of this. It's like, I'm wearing Letitia Antoinette and, you know, sort of, I'm feeling good within myself. And it's trying to spread that feelings for people to be feeling good within themselves.
I could actually relate with that, guys, because I've got a clothing line as well. It's on Instagram, guys. Go check it. It's at Dream and Resilience. So that's amazing, you know. What else? What are your coping mechanisms like? How do you explain to your audience? What one like coping mechanism would you tell us like today?
Coping mechanisms. Well, I have gone through a lot of different strategies and interventions as a means to cope with my mental health, from hospitalizations, from different types of medications and everything as a guinea pig, through CBT therapy, from journaling to music. So I have bipolar and also have ADHD, autism and dyslexia. So one of my things is I can go into episode that I am really, really hyper. Really hyper. Yeah. And just so you see, it's like I am elated. Just, how can I say it? I guess it's like, well, you seem like you're really high. I was like, she's not even high on anything, but she's just literally really hyper. And so it gets an overload of energy that maybe it's to the point I might not sleep for a few days or stuff. But you get fueled with so much energy that it's like you've got to dance, you've got to exercise. Everything to keep you.
I can completely relate with those of you guys who don't know. ADHD is something deficiency that keeps you hyper all the time, so you have problems like your senses are always high. It could be anything. It could be anything. The room environment is no good. The clutteredness in the room that could keep you high. So I understand that very well because I'm a teacher as well with the special needs children, and those was have the ADHD, all them. So I understand having that all severe sensory difficulties, and you still manage to put yourself out there by having such a talent out there. You go clothing brand, you're a model as well.
Yeah.
Are you a model as well?
Yeah. Well, where is it? I became Mrs. I came third for Mrs. Legend, and I was representing St. Lucia and Guyana. So
Cheers. All those modeling agency, you need to sign Letitia. Duchess Letitia, right here. Yeah. So, what? Just now. So, we have your book here. It's called My Mind's Eye, Letitia. I am so hard. I can't pronounce them. Sorry. Capuchin. See you, Angel. So this is a book, guys. If you want to have a look, right there. So yeah, what do you want to say? That one thing that anybody who's reading this book will get out of it.
One thing, it will get to the point of self-acceptance. Of literally, at times, you can't see yourself. So I had to put this book out there for me to be able to see myself.
That's true.
So at times, maybe I rush in. Sometimes I can be irrational. Sometimes it's like, yes, I can get excited and be, but it's my presentation at times of things can appear messy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay. The scattered mind. Now I've captured how the scattered mind is.
Yeah.
I've owned that. I see how it is. I recognise that. Let me be even better than what I have been.
Yes, guys, please don't forget to check the book. It's called My Mind's Eye, Letitia Capuchin. If I pronounce it right.
Letitia Capuchin.
Capuchin. I do apologize. As I'm just gonna call you Duchess Letitia because I really like that name. Is there anything would you like to share with us today?
Yes, they can find the book available on Amazon.
Yep.
The website is still being made at the moment, but they will be able to find some of the products. The latest line is Let and Love. It's a collaboration of the lip glosses and also some of my handbags.
Wow.
Your lip glosses.
So guys, this is the handbag Letitia's brand is there, and she got some nice goodies. So don't waste no time. Go get the grubs before it goes away. There you go. Thank you very much for today. I do really appreciate you coming out, sharing your experience with us. It's not just sharing it, it's getting more people out of that zone. Those people are still in that phase where they're thinking there's nothing else, they can't come out of it. So it's for all you people, those who thinks there's no other way to come out of it. This is a way we can come out of it. Come out, talk to people, get help. And there's a people who wants to help you. Like Letitia is pure example, sitting right of us, come out of nowhere, and then full of talent. Artist, production company, book writer. Name one, she got all. So thank you very much for today, and thank you, Letitia, for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Nads on Mind Over Matter. Today I have a guest, it's Rajni Samuel, and we're going to be talking about schizophrenia. So first of all, Rajni, welcome to the show.
Hiya.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You're still smiling considering you've practically taken all forms of transport to get here, apart from aeroplane and boat. So originally, when you think of schizophrenia, there's a lot of stigma attached to it, and people have their own kind of perceptions of it. So before we kind of delve a little bit more deeper into that, could you tell me how you sort of came to realize that this is something that you're kind of learning to live with?
Yeah. So basically, when I was like 7, I'll say from 7, I could say it in like the simplest form. I used to go out in the back garden at all hours of the night,
Yeah.
and just start talking to air. And my dad one day happened to just look outside the window and notice, like, what the hell? So he's gone downstairs and he said, "Who are you talking to?" "I am talking to my friend." Right. He's monitored this for a couple weeks, and then because he has it, he's like, okay.
He could recognize the signs, basically. Yeah.
But because at 7 years old, I'm too early to get diagnosed officially, I had to wait till like I was 13 to get tested again. Then one more time at 16, and that's when they initially just said, yeah, it's that.
How did you go about sort of dealing with it then? I mean, was it a case of going to the doctors for a consultation, or?
It was the doctor, so it was a talk with my dad first.
Yeah.
Trying to make me, like, obviously I was young, so trying to make me understand it's nothing to be worried about, you're fine, which in truth I am.
Yeah.
And then the doctor's obviously speaking to my parents, not really me, just asking me general questions like, what do you hear? Do you see this? Do you smell things that aren't there? Do you taste things that aren't there? That's it, really.
What exactly is schizophrenia then?
I could say it's like a really... If you ask different people, it's different things.
Yeah.
But realistically, the proper term is you hear, you see, smell, taste. You could even think that you're, like, you delude yourself sometimes, so it's like delusions as well. I'd say it sometimes has like a mood imbalance at times.
Yeah.
What I would call it, I mean, the doctors would call it, this is a psychotic, like, mental health thing. So it's built on psychosis. But I feel like it just makes people who have this, I feel like more, I won't say more special, but they have their own kind of understanding of the world.
Yeah.
And that could be good, that could be bad. It depends on, like, if you went through trauma, if you, like, it could literally just come from even drug use. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But even that, drug users could get it, and sometimes it depends on what they was feeling in that moment. So if they overdo it on, let's say, a psychedelic, they might think of nice, happy things, and they'll just always think of, like,
those kind of things. Yeah. Yeah.
Which most of the time, half and half, I'll have bad ones, but the bad ones don't really overtake the good ones I have. But then I've had a bad childhood.
Yeah.
And I've had trauma throughout my whole life. But I kind of built this world when I was 7 to kind of make myself out of this bad world, because I had 2 parents that weren't seeing eye to eye.
So it's escapism, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
And once you'd kind of established what the situation was, how did you feel? I mean, how did it make you feel? Because again, it's this stigma attached to schizophrenia. So how did you feel?
I feel like the stigma is quite dangerous, actually, because if you watch, I don't know if you guys watch films like Split.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
They say that's based on schizophrenia. That's not schizophrenia.
It's just film
That
Hollywood.
That is a whole different
Yeah.
disorder. That's DID. That's a dissociation disorder. So you are bound to have many personalities, which is a myth about schizophrenia. We have many personalities.
Do you think it's almost kind of glamorized then, really?
It is. It's really bad. But what I will say, I feel like there's a stigma, but people kind of let it go past their head that they can get this stigma and kind of just... You don't always need to believe in, the things you see in the films. That you're not going to... It's like you see certain things in films, you're not going to believe that this has happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why do we believe things like Split and all these other... I think it's an American... What's his name? Is it American Psycho?
American Psycho, yeah. Yeah.
That as well.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do... He's just he's just mad. So yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
But have you kind of learned to live with it then? I mean, how do you balance your normal life? I mean, with this?
I mean, when I was in my teens, I didn't deal with it very well. I did take a lot of like recreational drugs. I did a lot of alcoholism, and I was in a lot of like bad environmental kind of situations. So I had bad friends, I had bad situations going on, I had a lot of anger within me. I think it's when I turned about 20 where I was kind of like, okay, this isn't working. You're making yourself worse. I used to smoke weed, and I stopped smoking weed at like 17, 18 because I knew that was causing problems for me too.
Yeah.
I'd say now I'm 27. For the last 7 years, I've been able to go outside and live a normal life. Yes, like I think people don't understand schizophrenia. The voices never actually go.
Yeah.
They're there 24/7.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of what are you going to do to kind of either calm it down or make sure it doesn't affect your day. Because even when I'm talking to you, it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
is it like kind of learning how to control it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not as loud basically. They're not loud. It doesn't stop me from doing anything. I was told I wasn't going to be able to do education. I was told I wasn't going to be able to have a proper relationship. I wouldn't be able to have conversations like this.
Yeah.
But I kind of didn't listen to, and I'm not saying to anybody not to listen to your doctors. I didn't listen to my doctors in a sense of, oh my God, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this. I did my own thing, and I kind of broke myself out of that, because if you think about it, that's why I wish a lot of people with this would just be like, this isn't going to weigh me down. This isn't going to weigh me down. I'm going to do what I want to do. But instead, they kind of just make it, 90% of people just
mold
make it.
into it.
Yeah, and then the suicide rate for schizophrenics is bad.
Yeah. Well, that's
Especially
really sad to
men.
hear, actually, really.
Yeah.
That is quite sad to hear. But what I wanted to ask you also is that, obviously, having acknowledged that you've got this condition, did it kind of have an impact on the relationships, be it family or friends? And did you find people kind of step back from you?
Yes and no. So I had lifelong best friends up until I was like, I'd say 21.
Yeah.
And I've still got my school friends, thank God, because they understood. They were there from like the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
These friends that I'd made were not anybody I had met in school. They were just people. It was kind of like a joke or whatever. So it was kind of like, ugh, she's got this, but who cares? We're still going to encourage her to drink. We're still going to, and these things were bad for me.
Yeah.
I'd say it kind of warped like my relationships a bit with family and with romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Romantic relationships, I think, because people knew I had this, they were very, it was easy to kind of like, you know, be like, treat me like I'm very naive, and at the time I probably was.
Yeah.
Because I was still understanding myself.
Yeah.
But with like family, it's probably a bit more hurtful, I would say, because it's kind of like,
it's so close to home.
Yeah, my parents never really took any ownership for anything that happened in like my life, so it kind of just escalated into, we didn't do this to you. We didn't give you this mental health. We don't know what trauma they're talking about. Like, do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, no, I get it.
But now I'm at a place in my life at this age where I'm like, I don't care who it bothers, who it doesn't bother. I try to debunk it as much as I can, because obviously there's a myth of schizophrenics are violent.
Yeah.
They'll kill you, they'll do this, they'll do... And
so none of these
9 times
things.
out of 10, they're hurting themselves, not you. So
what advice would you give to other people out there who actually have this condition?
I would say...
or who are in the early stages as well?
I'd say early stages, maybe speak to someone that they trust. Doesn't have to be a doctor straight away, because that could be really daunting for somebody to go straight to a doctor and then be like, oh my God, I'm going to get diagnosed. Because I know a couple of people that have had other mental health issues, they've gone straight to the doctor and it's put them in a complete depression because they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Speak to someone that's close to them, like a best friend, their mom, their sister, whoever. And then once they get the diagnosis, when they're ready to get it,
Yeah.
I'd say learn yourself. Don't just listen to, okay, well, you're going to have this and you're going to have that, and because that's what I did for so many years, and it caused me to be out of it. I'd say to just learn yourself, learn what kind of stops you from having these bad thoughts, just learn yourself. Once you learn your mental health and you learn yourself, it becomes
I think it's
so much
acceptance
easier.
as well, isn't it? Once you've
Yeah.
accepted, then it goes for anything. Once you've accepted, then things get easier.
100%.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, Rajni, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and make sure you keep locked for more episodes of Mind Over Matter. You're listening to Nads.